What's up, my people? What's up, my homies? What's up, my friends? I'm Gnarly Vato, and these are Gnarly Times. Well, today I want to talk about my committing offense and what sent me to YA, right? And here's a newspaper article for those who don't think I be lying. You know what I mean? Say, fool ain't real. So this was February 9th, 4 days after I got busted. Right? It says D18s want to try. DA wants teens tried as adults. It says Tulare County prosecutors are asking that 4 teenagers be tried as adults for the fatal beatings and stabbing of a Porterville man. So I was one of them, and my brother. The Porterville boys, age 3. Wait, this part's faded. The Porterville, whatever. 3 ages 15 and 1 16 are charged with murdering Johnny Gonzalez, 45, reportedly in retaliation for the non-fatal stabbing Sunday of my dad, R. Sr., the father of the 2 suspects. Porterville police said it appears Gonzalez stabbed C. Sr. as the 2 fought at C's home in the 1800 block of West Putnam Avenue. Gonzalez reportedly left on foot, but the suspects allegedly followed him and beat him with a baseball bat and stabbed him repeatedly. He was pronounced dead a short time later at Sierra View District Hospital. Under a new state law, children as young as 14 can be tried as an adult for violent crimes such as murder. Bob Bartlett of the Tulare County District Attorney Juvenile Detention said this case is the first opportunity in Tulare County to utilize the new law allowing trial of younger juveniles as adults. Yeah. The suspects were scheduled to appear today before Judge William Severa Jr. for arraignment. Juvenile offenders convicted of murder can only be held in California Youth Authority until they are 25, while conviction of murder as an adult carries a maximum term of 25 years to life. Right? Well, I want to kind of give my view on this. Well, I guess my dad, and what's tripped me out is he died at 45. Well, in a month, I'll be 45. Right? So it's just, I've been reflecting on this a long time, or a lot lately since I've been sober, right? And like they say, clarity, well, I'm starting to see it, I guess, more clearly. Well, so I think like how someone my age would let my son go, you know what I'm saying? Go the way of the gangbang or the way of the drug way, or like not try to steer him in different ways, you know? Because Gonzalez would bring his son by to our pad and drop him off, you know? Well, it said that anyways, let me give you my point. That night, I was chilling, right? My brother and my homies were at the homeboys pad, who was around the corner. And mind you, he wasn't even from the west side. He was just from Polos. So we had met him. He was on a monitor, and he was on probation, and so he, I guess, moved with his grandparents. And when we met him, he was a little delinquent, been juvenile hall already, and so we never been to juvenile hall, right? So this fool, we used to go to his pad a lot, and we would go through the back window, and he had a grandpa with no legs, and the grandma had no legs, so she would be in bed all the time, and the grandpa, he would sit in the kitchen and put on Spanish and drink beer, you know. So they didn't really have a real role models, I think, except one cousin who was working at Taco Bell, who was like trying to get up out of this. They had an uncle who was like a fiend, you know. He's going in and out of the house. So we were always in there. After a while, we started chilling over there, and it became our hangout, you know. He had a big dresser. They carved bottles in it, you know. We would wrestle and throw each other slam each other in the wall and break the sheetrock. It was wild. So, you know, now I think about it, it's just sad because eventually Tiny lost his grandparents when he was in jail, you know, and That was like the only ones that really cared for him, I guess, at the time. But anyways, this night I was chilling at the house, right, watching. My brother and Nate were at Tony's pad. I was there earlier, but I said, man, I'm gone, because normally I would be at my girlfriend's pad, but my girlfriend was with her dad for that summer, right? Or for I don't know why. So I couldn't see her, so I was just at the pad. Went over there, chilled for a while, then went home, and I'm watching Aladdin. I had brother and sister, so at the time I was watching Aladdin because Aladdin had came out previously, and so I'm chilling, right, and my sister's on the phone with this fool Tiny, right, and prior to that, day before, Nate had found his knife he lost for a year, and you guys excuse me, I didn't disrespect nobody, and this is the way it is, and I'm not the best eloquent speaker, but I try to get my story, along. But anyways, I'm there at the house. My sister's watching Aladdin with my brother and sister. My sister's on the phone. I hear a scream, like some yelling. I go, well, I go outside, right? I walk outside and I see my dad. My dad's against the car. Like, oh, I think it's been so long. He was in front of the garage. He's like, Mio, that fool stabbed me. I'm like, who? He's like, Johnny, And it was wintertime in February, so my dad had I got a few layers of clothing, but he said his tripas were hanging out, right? So my mom, she had ran past me. I think she was the one screaming, ran past me, and what's called, get the keys. She's getting the keys. So when I see my dad, I'm like, I'm gonna go to the hospital with him. And my dad has some other friends there, like 3 other dudes, right? So, because he always had a garage open, he was always doing body work. People were always there at the pad, That's why it's crazy now that I think about it. So I get I'm like, I'm going to hospital with this fool. So I go in the pad to get my shoes on, and my mom's walking back out, and she got the keys, right? So I go get my shoes on, and I'm walking out, and they're driving off. I'm like, I wanted to go, right? And so this fool Johnny's just chilling, fool, walking. Like, there's some guys there in the van, there, and then my dad's homeboy, a big white dude, right? And this fool goes, he's just standing there, and so I come out, I'm like, I'm 15 and a half, right? So I just grab a broomstick that was right there, and I go, and something in me just told me to chase this fool, right? So I go, and I was gonna chase him towards him, but he kind of ran off behind his van, and I threw the stick at it, missed, and hit the van. But I hear this guy go, hey, watch out for my van. And I'm like, F your van. And I hadn't seen him prior, fool, but I never really talked to him, So these fools, he starts walking off, right? And we had a fire hydrant right there in front of my pad between our 2 houses, the neighbors. So he walked off, dude. The guy's talking. I'm like, man, go and sit on this fire hydrant. Like, should I, go at? And right across my pad was a field. And I'm like, man, should I go after this fool? And I'm like, so he about halfway past this field towards the house is going to start. And you know what? I'm just going to go. Dude, I just started running. I don't know what I was going to do, but I just started running. So this fool kind of like walking fast, and he starts running a little faster, right? So I'm about maybe a football field away, a little less than a football field. And what's called, I see, we have a drive in Porterville, right? And I live by West Putnam. They had a store, Applegate's. And our neighborhood was Salisbury and York and the other Patsy. Well, this fool, my homeboys, my brother, they come around the corner, right? And this fool runs into my brothers and them, right? And in the trial, they say my brother was like Charles Manson. He would tell people what to do, right? Remember, this is all out in the pay. It's all out. And well, prior to that, when they got a phone call like, "Hey, come home, Dad got stabbed," right? So when they're on the way back home to the pad to see what's going on, they're like, "Hey, let's take this bat just in case," you know. Well, they take this bat and they're walking. That's when they run into him because it was already dark, getting dark. So when they ran into him, I'm behind him, right? So this guy, like, I guess, when the trial they said we attacked him like wolves, a pack of wolves, you know, which is horrible description. Well, I didn't have nothing on me but a lighter. So I'm running. He runs into these fools, my brothers and them, and this fool, and it was crazy too, like a movie, bro. There's a single light. They had built some set apartments they had built prior, right behind the drive-in, and there's like a light pole right there. Because it's dark streets, and so they had a light pole right at that end of like a sidewalk, right in front of these apartments, and he's running, right? He's like running along there, and when they run into him, because he didn't expect it, bro. I didn't expect it either. It was no planned out, nothing. And he runs into my brother, and he goes, he said, "Don't F with me, little R." And pulls out the blade, dude. He stabbed my dad with, you know, and my brother, like, right, and I'm running up, like, so I'm seeing this come down, because I'm just kind of going pretty quick, I guess, you know, catchy speed. Well, I'm probably about maybe 50 yards away from him by then, right? And I was called, it's hard to admit, bro, but I picked up a piece of asphalt, you know what I'm saying? And when he ran into my brother, he pulled out the knife from my brother. My brother, like, reached back. Homeboy handed the bat. And this fool just hit this fool. You know, we used to play baseball. Fell. And just boom, boom. You know, I'm not going to say how many more times, but quite a few more times. And by the time I rolled up, bro, and, you know, my homeboys were standing there. It was just me and my brother. And we all made it what we did. And I rolled and kicked him a few times, you know, probably like 4 times, bro, and hit him when he was down with this little thing on his back, you know, this rock on his back, you know. And we were standing there. When we were beating him up, we started running, right? And my homeboy Tiny was standing there the whole time, and my homeboy Nate. So when we were running away, I guess Nate, you know, had this blade and hit this fool twice, you know, which we didn't know because we were leaving. It's dark, so we're leaving. I'm not to justify nothing, bro, but he was called hit this fool, I guess, you know, and we start running. We throw the bat in this yard. This fools we used to know, these kids we grew up with. We come to find out their parents sold some marijuana, so they were tripping because we threw the evidence on the fence, you know. So we end up running. This fool, we found this neighbor across the street from my pad, seen us, gave us a ride. Because right in front of my pad was a field, so on the other side of the field was a store. So he gave us a ride all the way to the other store, the other side of the field, and we grabbed the blades, and we went and hit him in the dirt behind the store called Sherwood. And then we walked to a homegirl's pad by Walmart, you know, and we're all, you know, and then we went to the hospital. By then my family was there, and we went into see my dad, because, you know, his tripas were hanging out, and they had a curtain right there. And the fool, Johnny, was right there next to my dad. And then the cops were there looking at me and my brother. You know, and it was just crazy. They're like, this fool do it, you know, we're already, what's it called? Prime suspects. So I told my brother, like, come on, bro, let's get out of here. And at the time, when we were in the hospital, we ended up give some hugs to the family, and we started walking, right? So there's what? By then, the homeboy Tony went home, right? And it was just me, Nate, my brother, and this homegirl. And you could feel it in you, like, man, you're done. You know, your future's done. And then I would have my girlfriend, right? And so I loved her, bro. And I was like, man, I'm never gonna see my girlfriend. You know, this and that. What should I do? You know, and you know, you contemplate not telling that, but I just tell her what you did. I'm glad I did this, bro. I hope I get out soon, right? And then you read these laws. You know, we're young. We're not hip to what the laws are. So then you realize, like, damn, they had a law that they're gonna try us as adults. You know, but that's that adult thinking when you're committing crimes like an adult. That's why we gotta let our kids be kids while they can, because, you know, they have their whole lifetime to be an adult. But anyways, so when we were in the hospital, we ended up leaving, walking out the entrance, and the emergency, give our family a hug, and they're like, did you guys do it? We're like, you know, because they already knew us. And it was like, we're like, what? Right? So anyways, we started walking, and I told my brother, hey, let's go this way. And he's like, let's go this way. So we start walking on right there by Hersheimer's Donuts, or can't think of the name right now. So we start walking, right, and we hit into the right there with the parking lot, and we see, I don't know if it was a meter maid or a meter truck, but it was something small, like a little police vehicle. Like, oh, that's cute, you know. They drive by, bro, and next thing you know, another vehicle, then another cop, sheriff, bro, they all roll up on them like, freeze, like, you know. So they take us to jail and separate Nate with me and my brother. They strip us down. We're all naked, like, they give us county jumpsuits, like the oranges, you know. They took all our clothes for evidence, and they just start questioning you. You know, did you do, did you see him do that? Like, it was insane, right? And before you know it, they already knew the story because they had ran into, we had two other one friend and his friend who seen us. They were coming from that fool's pad, this little shortcut, and they seen it all go down. So they had tested, and they're like 13. So they ended up telling on us what happened, you know? So they already had the story, and we're here trying to like, no, I didn't do it. You know, even I read my transcripts now, they go, you don't know nothing. And then the dude at the end says, he's like, you know what happened. You know the first time you kill somebody. It never leaves you. He said, I was in Vietnam. You know and I was like, I don't know nothing. You know? But they got mad at me and went up. But anyways, in the end, we go to fight, you know. They count me and my brother, they transfer us to juvenile hall, right? And we're all like, dang, bro, we're gonna... Nah. And my brother's ready gangster, like X4, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if he had bottles on there, but they're already, he was gang banged out already, you know? He was ready for this. We watched American Me and Blood Out. I'm like, a lot of times, this whole time, because I wasn't really gang banging, you know? I was more of affiliate, catching the heat, because my brother, but once in there, you know, we shackled, we get in juvenile hall, my brother like, remember American Me, bro. Don't let the Christmas tree blade. And I'm like, and he's like, are you gonna gangbang in there or what? He's like, if I were you, I wouldn't. And I'm like, dude, I'm already been catching the heat. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if I were you, I would. I go, whatever, dude. And what's called, because he's always been telling me shit my whole life, you know? So, this was the first time I actually had a bed on my own. Never had my own bed until I went to jail. Right? So, anyways, I was in juvenile hall for like 6 months, you know, meeting all the homeboys. That's another homeboy had responded to me. Kiki, shout out to you, bro. But, you know, the other homies that, because, you know, you spend time, they're fighting the case, you develop a little friendship, you know, little bonds. And even with that homeboy, we stabbed each other with a pencil. They actually charged me, a new charge with that. So they're like, and I went on school grounds when I was suspended. So I had assault. They dropped my charge down to assault with a deadly weapon. And school grounds when I was suspended. And that stabbed each other with a pencil. You know, but anyway, besides that, I was in there fighting the case, and we would run into, we had all these little young fools there. We were all getting harder and tougher, you know, and you had a lot of these Southsiders. They had me with the girls, you know what I'm saying, and the Sureños. So the first day, I get up in there, and they're like, fool sits right in front of me, and I'm like, is he looking at me? You know what I mean? I'm like, okay. But then I had these broads come. They come to find out they're norteñas. They all come around. Cause I sit on this table in this chair. Then this fool comes from Tulare, big chubby dude. And then, cause I was small, right? And then I had these broads come like guard me, bro. Like, who are these? Cause they asked me where I'm from, and I said, Porterville. You know, cause we were big news, bro, in the paper. So at the time, right before this, was another Sureño who killed I had mentioned it in one of my first videos, who killed a eye doctor. You know what I'm saying? So when I went up in there, it was on and cracking, fool. Just my heart didn't stop beating until like I was literally got out of jail. Like you imagine being chilling, watching a movie, and then your whole life just changes, bro. Next thing you know, your heart never stops for like almost 3 years. That's crazy, bro. I think to this day, I'm like, how did I get, well, how did it get so far? You know? And I trip out in life, like, be blessed to be here today. If it wasn't for God and what I learned in life, I wouldn't have made this far. You know, even getting bullied, pushed around, you know what I'm saying? It's built me stronger. That's why I feel now that I'm not scared to speak out to a lot of these things, you know, because a lot of people been bullied, bro. And that's how even these fools, these Sureños, they were brown priders, you know, and we'd roll up, and I wouldn't, but other homies like, where the fool from? I'm like, hey, bro, we're brown pride. Then next you know, what they do? Brown pride Sureños. You know what I'm saying? So we created a gang, our own opposition. So that was like the thing there, you know, and even there, bro, it was crazy. It was to me like a straight movie to me, you know, and that's why I thank God I came this far, you know, and some of us, bro, couldn't change soon enough, you know, we lost our lives and got in situations that we couldn't get out of, like doing time, you know. That's why I think, like, how could I, gonna be 45, send my 15-year-old, I got a 15-year-old, say it was a boy, my 15-year-old to go do some crimes. You know, even like when we went to jail, they had the dude who died, he had a nephew who was in there, right? So we would always heard about him, bro. So he was already a legend. And now we're like, dang, now he's gonna be our enemy? But you know, it's just the way it was, bro. And it was crazy. People were like, oh, fool, you're a weenie. That's why you're like, no. No, it's not even about. That's why they say why it's crazy. You know, people punch on each other because they're like, once that end time words start happening, like, is this fool gonna swing? Okay, you know, you don't know sometimes to run or fight. And you know, a lot of times you don't want to run. You're like, oh, this fool's a weenie, so you just fight. We'll worry about what happens later. You know, so that's, even when I first When I got my time, I got transported, right? They sent to YA, and they had a wall of YA. Fools going to YA. YA, you have your last name? YA, 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 YA. Just in one unit, about 40 people. It's probably like, say, I was on Sequoia the whole time. Probably like 7 going to YA. And then I can imagine the other ones, YA. Like, they built a cage for all the fools going to YA. So we go on rec. And then you had 2 homeboys who escaped. Stole the car. Crazy fools. But when I went transported, right, it was 2 cops that took us, right? So they ended up taking me with this fool from Florencia and this other fool from Tulare, some Sureño. Right? And little young fools, little Scrappy or whatever. You got an F-13, and you know, look. Right? And they put me, when we went to SAC, bro, they put me in the middle. So, a northerner, literally, between 2 of these fools. You know what I'm saying? So then, we drove all the way up. That's why I hate that drive to Sacramento. That was my first time ever going shackled. Then I went like 5 more times. Drove me up between these fools the whole time. And in there, I had problems with them. In Juneau Hall. So we go to what's called, to up there, and you know, get hit NRCC and go through the whole routine. You know, take our stuff, get new clothes, take a shower. You know, get clothes. And these fools were probably just as tripping as I was, because they're heading up north, right? So I felt a little bit like, all right, at least I'll see some homeboys, because my brother and my co-defendant, Tiny, was there already. So I'm like, all right, let's hopefully I see these fools, you know. And once I rolled up, bro, on the thing, because they gave us green pants, and once you come out the hospital, they have the yards, dorm 1, dorm 1, I think dorm 2, dorm 4, I think 3 somewhere else, the crazy dorm. And I'm rolling up, right, everyone's on the yard, and I didn't even, like, I was like, all right, you know, and they asked me, where are you from? Someone said, where are you from? You know, because I'm walking up to all these guys, and I go, Puro Norte. I didn't even know what to say. I just said, Puro Norte, just so everybody could hear. Like, then I seen some other homies farther back, hey, bro. I was like, okay. My heartbeat slowed down a little bit, you know, because you had some familiarity, and you're like, all right, okay. You know, and then, boom, they go give me a cell. And the crazy part, I was right across from my homeboy Tiny. And he was like an ADD. You know, he jumped through the window. And he's like, bro, you know? And he's like, wait. And then he's like, I'm going to send you something. And I was like, what? Because I just roll up, literally probably like 10 minutes in my cell. And it was what's called. He hits a kite, bro. Comes sliding in my door. I pick it up. I'm like hung to with a string. He's like, pull it. I start pulling it, and here comes 2 sopas noodles coming in. I'm like, oh, okay. You know, and it was just crazy. It was a crazy life experience, and I think sometimes traumatic, because I call it from watching Aladdin to watching my butt cheeks. You know, like they say, because you hear all these stories dropping the soap, and you're like, you know, and then you watch American Me, and you just hear these tales, rumors, man, and you see the things going on in Juneau Hall, you know, fools getting picked off or picked on, you know, you think like, man, it's gonna be worse, and it was just crazy experience, and I just feel not only for what I went through, but all these other fools that been through there, you know. Even the ones that went down south, outnumbered, and you know, with a lot of opposition. But a lot of times, fools are getting bullied to become what they are. You know, they gotta, and that's how I was sometimes. I got picked on in high school. I'd be walking and like, what the, you know? And maybe I was a little a-hole too, you know, because I try to be funny, a clown sometimes, but fools don't like clowns, you know. But the things I want to say, we gotta be better people, you know. why wasn't my dad chilling there inside? Why do you have all his friends there? You know, why? We just got to be there for our family. And look at the extent we went to. Me and my brother and the other homeboys who cared enough for us that thought we were like family to help our family out. And look at, they ruined their lives. You know, my other homeboy got murdered years later over this act, you know. Then my other homeboy Tiny lost his grandparents through this, you know, and his choice and path in life went, you know. But I just wonder about the homies that have been in YA and went through their experiences, and I hope they did the best they could, you know, given the obstacles. That's why I respect I don't always agree with all his opinions and all his views, and I had a lot of debate, arguments with this fool, but American Cholo. He was a YA baby, but he kind of made it through, you know, and being a little success story. But I just want to share this. Be better people, bro. We don't got long to live. You know, some of us died off young. And be better people and make better choices for our little ones, you know, because we're the example. That's why you got to set the example. Who's going to speak out? If I ain't going to speak out, who's going to speak out? Speak up. Who can we wait for, bro? But anyways, I'm Gnarly Vato, and I just wanted to share my crazy committing offense experience. And no disrespect in heart and feelings to the other side, you know. I have compassion, bro. It happened the way it happened, you know. We can't change it. We just got to move on and be better people in life. But I'm Gnarly Vato, and have a great time. Stay safe out there. I'm out.